Hi, everybody. You're in the right place. Welcome to Rise. It's been a minute. I had to take some time to reflect on recent things that have been going on in the world and also in my life and in my practice. I think it's time we all look at bullying and we work on becoming bully-proof. It takes a minute or two or a couple of weeks or longer to recover from the shock, from the outrage, from the humiliation, and from this violence of another person or another organization or group that preys on or attacks or just makes you feel worthless. And that's the energy that this interaction wants. It wants to take away your voice, steal your power, and the end result is you feel victimized, you feel powerless, confused, maybe even hopeless. I can say that in the day-to-day in my office, bullying can be the root cause of so much depression and so much anxiety. And it can build and it can build and it can build in a person's psyche and their psychology unless the person takes a break to actually look and examine and heal from this bullying. So today in this video, we're going to talk about how to become bully-proof. It's going to be a good one. So let's start with the origin story of a bully. I'll tell you, it's kind of complex, and there's no one origin story for how somebody becomes so cruel, vicious, mean, and unfair. And there's no one story for how organizations, the psychology of an organization can become corrupt. It takes time, and generally it stems from feelings of inadequacy. Generally, it comes from feelings of power, of wanting to be more than, and it stems from insecurity. It can also come from just an outright disregard of other people. The bully really doesn't think about your feelings. The bully really doesn't care. And sometimes it's hard to believe that there are people or organizations out there that really don't care about your individual well-being. But it's out there. It's interesting because bullies tend to prey on or find people who are generally caring people who think about the other and who actually try and understand the bully before defending themselves. So I want to say it's okay to defend yourself. It's okay to say stop. It's okay to put up a boundary and actually be perceived as cold or mean before trying to understand where the other person is coming from. I'm not calling for out-and-out violence, but I'm asking people who are sensitive to be able to stop an interaction without feeling guilty or feeling worried about how the bully is coming across. So that's interesting. That's just a little bit of the mess that can happen when someone is being bullied, because the bully in general is being cruel and asserting power in a dominating, cruel way. And the person being bullied, it's very interesting, tends to feel like they deserved it, or they didn't do something right, or they could have, should have, and would have done things better. And the bully is in some way calling that out. It's a really interesting dynamic. And I think that's what makes it really hard for people to stand up to really strong bullies. So there's that preying on a vulnerability, a human vulnerability that the bullies have got down. And they've got it from either cruelty in their childhood, they've got it because their brains probably aren't wired for empathy, they've got it because it was done to them and it's just to do to other people. So there are a lot of complex reasons. But when you are being bullied, when you are being treated unfairly, and there's out and out shaming, humiliating, cruel behavior going on. Don't waste time looking for the origins. Defend yourself. So, how do we become bully-proof? How do we heal? I have 8 major points I'd like to bring up now. How to heal and how to become bully-proof. Number 1, build your self-confidence. It's important to know that you have a voice. You have a right to exist. You have a right to disagree. You have a right to express yourself. And when you're in a situation where someone is putting you down, calling you names, questioning your authority, it's important to say, stop right there. You're not addressing the situation in a way that I like, or stop, I don't communicate in this way, or stop right there. I don't understand it when you talk to me like that. When you sense that this conversation is going awry and someone is treating you in a bullying way, stop it. You could even stop it and say, stop, are you okay? Another thing you can do is develop assertiveness. Assertiveness means speaking up. It means saying, I like it like this. I don't like this. So if a bully comes up to you and is like, well, I'm going to cut in front of you, or I'm going to do it this way, and it doesn't matter what you like because I'm the one in charge now. It would be fair to say, no, I count just as much, and I think we can come to a compromise. We can come to an understanding together. Typically, a bully will get really angry and yell at you if you try and compromise. If that's the case, step away, but say, I'm not going to engage with you right now. Be assertive and say, I am not going to engage. This is not a safe place, and I don't like to be put down. All right, you could develop assertiveness. Another thing is to develop something called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to kind of sense what another person is feeling and not take it personally, all right? That's the intelligent part. You can be empathic. You can be a really highly sensitive person, and that's a great thing. But if we're taking in all of this emotional information and taking it personally, we can become a wreck. So what I'm saying is use your emotional knowledge intelligently. Don't take it personally. If you notice someone kind of grumbly or angry in the corner of the supermarket who has cornered you and is looking at you in a certain way, like they may be angry at you because of all kinds of reasons that are their own. It could be because of your height. It could be because of your race. They could be making assumptions about your religion. This is the kind of stuff going on in LA right now. But anyway, if you sense someone is angry and it looks like they're pointing their rage at you, don't take it personally and step aside. Pay attention to the information your emotions are giving you about your environment. It may be unsafe. It may be anxiety provoking. Don't numb yourself out and say whatever. Actually listen. And if you are in more of unsafe neighborhood or unsafe group of people, or maybe you're at a bar and everybody is really drunk and kind of outrageous and their boundaries are loose and they're, making sexual comments or making racist comments and you're not comfortable, pay attention to that. Take care of yourself. Be intelligent, realize they're on their own trip, and don't take it personally and take care of yourself. Get to a safe place. Another thing that's really important to do is to have a support system. Because, at the end of the day, if you're out and about, if you're in the city, if you're standing in lines, if you're doing business, if you're working with different organizations, you're going to come across people who are very angry or want their way, not able to compromise, not able to communicate, and they can talk to you in a variety of ways that at the end of the day can wear on you and make you feel upset, make you feel like, what's the point? People don't treat me with respect. And the sad thing is day after day after day, if this chronically goes on, people do start to question their self-worth. They do internalize bullying behavior. In order to counteract and combat this, we need a strong support system. Get a good support system. Friends, people that you love, your spouse, hopefully, is a really powerful support system, or, your best friend, and a really good therapist who listens to you and understands you can be just the most priceless, most wonderful source of support. And it can help you combat that heavy, oppressed feeling, because that heavy, oppressed feeling is the worst, and it holds us back, and it holds us from really knowing our power and our self-worth. Don't give in to that. Get a good support system. Another way to deal with bullying in the world is to develop your own kind of like personal emotional cleansing system. And that involves things like journaling, meditation, yoga, exercise, taking care of your body, processing your emotions in a safe place, a safe contained place that's really for these emotions. So that's why journaling about what you're feeling, what you've been through, what you would like is a really safe way to process some of these hopeless feelings. Get it out on paper, look at it, get it out of inside of you. Meditation is a very powerful tool for, let's just call it emotional hygiene, for cleansing your entire nervous system and your body of stress. Learn a meditation practice. There are tons of things on YouTube, and there are many meditation teachers all over. Meditation really helps us to stay bully-proof. And exercise does too. Exercise helps us uphold a strong posture. It helps us feel strong. And practically, if you're in good shape, you can run. You can get help. And you command your space in a different way. It makes you bully-proof, believe it or not. And the other thing I think is really important is to cultivate a kind of active listening kind of way of being in the world, where you can listen if someone is being cruel or vicious, and just sort of take it in, don't personalize it, and say, I hear you, but I don't think I'm going to engage, and just step away. So it's an active presence in the world, where you're not kind of like a deer in headlights, and you're like, how could you say that to me? How could you? Kind of just be prepared. Be an active listener. It'll really help you to become bully-proof. Another thing is, and this doesn't help us become bully-proof in the moment, it helps us afterwards, is understanding the bullying dynamic, understanding where they come from in their origin stories like we talked about before. Afterwards, if you've been really cruelly abused by a bully, it can help your healing process to kind of understand the bullying process and, the dynamics from where they came from and what they were going through. And in some kind of a psychological healing way, it can give you peace and help you to become bully-proof. And then the most critical, well, they're all critical, they're all important, but something really powerful and really important that I want to convey to you to become bully-proof is to develop a positive mindset, to cultivate a powerful mindset, even though the oppression has been strong, even though someone has been treated you unfairly and said things that were utterly rude and unconscionable, even though you've been put down and ground down. Work on developing a positive mindset, because then you've won. If you are down in the mud, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling bad, feeling lost, feeling crippled by the cruelty, they've won, guys. So the more we're able to cultivate a positive mindset, like digging in deep, digging in for who we are, where we come from, what we stand for, will help you to become bully-proof. And having this kind of a positive mindset in and of itself can attract a certain type of bully. Like, they take it as a challenge to make you feel miserable. If you're attracting that, you're doing great. Just work on being strong and knowing who you are and what you represent. And you've got it down. And, get support. Work in environments that are friendly and listen to you. Work towards better communication in organizations and in politics and at school and with your friends and in your family. Because one of the most horrible things is when bullying happens in families and it's passed down generationally. It's time to stop that. It's time to take back ownership of your power, to heal yourself, and to take the time to feel some self-compassion. Because one of the things that's bad with bullying is it can really make you feel ashamed of yourself, like you did something wrong, you are wrong, and you kind of stay in this oppressed space. Take the time to feel some self-compassion, guys. Take some time to care about yourself and say, oh my goodness, I wouldn't talk that way to anybody, or I deserve respect. And feel that and own that and go into the world bully-proof. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.